The City of Cortez is in the process of updating the Cortez Land Use Code and housing policies. On October 26th and 27th, city staff and consultants hosted open houses to solicit feedback on a few key topics within the code. This presentation provides an overview of content covered during the open houses and provides more information on how you can participate in the open house exercises using the link provided on this webpage. Before we dive in, we'll share a bit of background on the project. The current Land Use Code was adopted in 1996 and has been amended numerous times over the years. Since the initial adoption almost 30 years ago, the city has grown and our needs have changed. The current Land Use Code needs an update specifically for ease of administration and simplification of review processes, as well as inclusion of the standards that support the city's housing needs. The Land Use Code sets regulations for property within city limits. This code does not apply to property in Montezuma County. The code covers topics including land use impacts like noise, light, and traffic, use standards, zoning and dimensional standards, application procedures and process, as well as review criteria. We started this process of updating the code in April of 2023 with a project kickoff and conversations with the community to learn about some of the key issues with the current land use code. Since then, the project team, including the consulting firm Logan Simpson, developed an assessment report to document the key issues and draft initial recommendations. Many of these recommendations came out of the city's previous work on the housing plan assessment and housing action plan. Now we're in phase 3 of the process, which is the code drafting phase. In addition to soliciting feedback from community members during listening sessions in phase 1, we've also been meeting with a community advisory committee to work through and discuss key topics and ideas. Within the drafting phase, we're in Module 1. We've broken the drafting process into 3 parts, and we will be engaging the community through questionnaires, open houses, and other online engagement during each module. Module 1 covers the code's general provisions, zone district regulations, and use standards. These topics can be found in Chapter 1 and Chapter 3 of the Land Use Code. If you didn't get to participate in the October open house, now is your chance. In the next few slides, we'll share how you can provide input. After watching this presentation, you can access the open house boards on this webpage and add your comments. 3 boards you'll see in the open house include content covering residential zone districts. There are currently 4 different residential zone districts that allow a range of housing types. On one of these boards, we'll ask you how you think the proposed definitions of these districts reflect the character of these areas. We'll also ask whether the proposed mix of permitted housing types provides enough flexibility to allow for a variety of housing across the city. On these boards, we'll cover content and questions related to commercial and industrial zone districts. Again, you'll have the opportunity to comment on whether the descriptions of the districts reflect the character of these areas. We will also ask a few specific questions related to residential uses in the downtown area. The final 2 boards in the open house include definitions and images. We heard from many folks in the community and from planning staff that definitions within the code could be improved, and many new definitions could be added to help clarify code language. On these boards, please add comments on definitions that you think we need to change or refine. Now that you've made it this far in the presentation, it's your turn to participate in the virtual open house. Close out of this presentation, click on the Participate Now link on the webpage, and follow instructions to add your comments on zone districts, uses, and definitions. Lastly, to learn more about the process and stay updated on upcoming events, visit the city's website to access the project webpage.